You've interviewed some big names. How do you prepare for those?
Well, I will normally read their last few interviews, uh, speak to some of their fans on Twitter, ask them what they're thinking, watch their music, obviously, read some gossip magazines and see if there's anything about them, and then try and ask something different. But maybe if there's something big, like a big story about one of them who's got a new girlfriend, is the rumour. So I've got JLS coming in on Wednesday, and say it was about Aston having a new girlfriend, and they've been spotted. I'd maybe say, all right, you got the new girlfriend. What'd she make you for dinner? What's the ultimate thing? You want to lead it on. You want to get the next part of the story. I don't know if I would come out, because you don't want to jeopardise an interview that you're doing with someone really big that you've worked hard. And so say it's someone that you've done the lesser interviews on that record label to get the bigger band. You don't want to annoy them when you've worked up a good relationship. You want them leaving going, that was a great interview. It's a balance. It's like I was saying earlier, it's a balance. But if I didn't know who the mystery person was, would I come out and ask? It would depend. If it was JLS, probably, but I would stay before that. Listen, you've been here hundreds of times, and you've told us so many secrets before. Go on, everyone wants to know, who is the girl? I don't think if it was the first time I've interviewed them, I don't think I'd ask that straight away.
So a band like that, you build up a relationship over several interviews,
Yeah.
and you can get a bit of banter going.
Or even if you do drop it in later in the interview once the chat is on the go, don't do it as the first question. Maybe do if you've got something really controversial, but I don't recommend anyone doing this. But if you really want to ask a killer question, do your interview, finish it off, and then say, oh, by the way, put it into record if you're live, record it off the air. I wanted to ask you one more thing. Ask them something about the song or whatever. Oh, and another thing I forgot to ask. Killer question. And because then if they walk out, at least you've got your other stuff already. Yeah, that's what I would do in an extreme situation.
So have you got any horror stories?
Of interviews gone wrong, couple. Do you remember we worked together at Beat 106, and I was doing an ISDN, like not face to face, on the link to Supergrass. Do you remember they came and did a gig in the boardroom, and the interview was a car crash. It was terrible, and I wanted to just hang up the call and say, "Guys, you're assholes. Goodbye." But I wasn't allowed to because they were going to be doing this gig for us. In the end, halfway through the interview, I said, look, this isn't working. Knock it on the head. They went, yeah, exactly. And it was over. I've had a bad one with Westlife once, but that was, again, an ISDN. It wasn't face-to-face, and it was 5 in the afternoon. And they've been doing those 15-minute slot interviews since 9 in the morning. So at 5, they just couldn't be bothered. But since I've been older and more grown up and thought about things more, I've always had good ones. If you put prep in, you'll get good results back.
Do you write your questions down?
Some just words. They don't like to see questions written down. And also, I wouldn't do an interview, and I know you wouldn't either, where say you're interviewing Madonna and she says, oh, I'm pregnant again. All right, that's brilliant. And then carry on reading your questions. You want to listen to the answers because you can get really nice stuff by what they give you.